Welcome, everybody, to the Three Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman. This is episode 303, where I am going to finish up the audience Q&A that we started in episode 301. So sit back, relax, and prepare to hear what is on the mind of your fellow Three Gunners and what your old buddy Dave thinks about it. This podcast, want to cover something real quick. This podcast finds me back from the Generation 3 Gun Championship in Iberia, Missouri, which was a wonderful time. Always a great time shooting Generation 3 Gun Championship. And if you haven't done it, you should get out there and shoot it yourself for the 2022 match. Love it. Would shoot again. Lots of offhand rifle this year, which was a lot of fun. And we'll have some video to follow here. Plus, we still got video coming from JCam as well. And all that good stuff coming to your inbox. So, we've had a bunch of audience feedback on the stuff that we talked about in episode 300, the new 3-gun divisions. And so far, the feedback has been more than positive. So thank you for those people who stopped me at Gen 3 to let me know what you thought about it. The people that were detractors, for whatever reason, like for example, like coupled magazines and limited was one I heard, and then of course the D60 in TAC. They never have a reason. So I was like, I don't like that. Okay, tell me why. There's never a why. It's just, I don't like that. So, again, it's not like it's my sport or anything like that. I'm just floating things out there that I think would improve the divisions and set things apart greater between limited and TAC and between TAC and open. But I'm open to feedback, but constructive feedback. Like, first of all, don't be a dick about it. And then second, like, put together an argument rather than I just don't like that. Because there's lots of stuff I don't like as well. But if I'm trying to convince someone, I usually put together an argument. So there you go. All right. So on to the Q&A here. And you can check all these Q's and A's out at 3gunshow.com/303, which is this episode 303. And that is where you will find all the Q's and some of my A's as well. But of course, you're listening to this on the podcast, so that's probably what you prefer. So first one is from Carl Volt. And Carl says, will you be man enough to show up to the IPSC PCC World Shoot next year? First of all, LOL at PCC and man enough in the same sentence. I assume that was some kind of joke. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know when it is or how to get into it or anything. I understand it might be in the United States. It's very confusing. Maybe. I would like to shoot it. It would be fun to shoot a like a high level match like that. Probably have to shoot some more PCC. Probably need to buy a PCC now that I think about it. But I don't know how I got this reputation. Even some of my best friends say this. It's not that I dislike PCC. It's that I dislike PCC in 3-gun. I don't think 2x4 is a legitimate division. And I think PCC in 3-gun specifically ruins shotgun in 3-gun. And why would we destroy half the sport to hopefully get, well, more than that? Why would we destroy like 3/4 of the sport to hopefully get more people to come in and play and make them buy an extra gun? I think it's dumb. I think it was a bad idea. And bad ideas sometimes persist, but now is our time to change that. So, no PCC in 3-gun. PCC by itself? Yeah. Sounds like fun. Let's have a good time. As far as the World Shoot, I don't know if I'm on that level for World Shoot, but, we'll have more open slots, obviously, because it'll be in the United States here. So, yeah, sure, I'd shoot that. But going to need some practice, obviously. And again, I have no idea what it takes to get a slot at the World Shoot. For example, like this year's USPSA 2-gun match was a PCC pistol match, and it was a shotgun World Shoot qualifier. I have no idea how that works. That seems like USPSA's got some problems. We'll see. Next one is from Kitzmiller 3-gun. And he says, are we going to shoot for multi-gun unification under new USPSA presidency? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Honestly, when Foley came in, I was optimistic because I thought, this is a guy who's claimed to shoot 3-gun outside of USPSA, and he seemed to at least give lip service to multi-gun, but then it just has not turned out that way. So I also listened to Jake Martins on the Behind the Lens podcast, and doesn't sound like anyone really cares about multi-gun. They just paid a lot of lip service and then do nothing. So I would love to see it. I would love to see unification under something, but I'm not optimistic about USPSA. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about or with USPSA shooters lately, and a lot of people, even people I know personally and respect, seem to have a lot of problems with USPSA. So I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe the shooting sports in general are just the type to attract curmudgeons and complainers and people who couldn't make it in high school sports and don't have kids, so they can't complain about Little League. And then they want to complain about this. I don't know. Seems interesting, but whatever. Wish I had some good news on that one. So Car Racer 36 says, yay or nay, gear carts at the range. I say nay. I'm still nay. I'm 41 years old. I still carry all my gear from stage to stage, unless, we can drive a truck, and then, of course, I'll drive my truck. But, nah, I hope I don't do the baby cart thing, the gear cart. Seems kind of silly, especially when it's windy, got to keep your gear covered. Keeping them in your bag seems like a better idea. All right, 3-Gun Geek says, will 3-Gun get some USPSA level drama? We have in the past, and I don't know. I hope not. Seems like there's a lot of USPSA drama to go around lately. That's probably because I've been trying to pay attention to what's going on over there. It seems like a lot of the top shooters don't want to shoot their matches anymore, which I don't know what that makes them at that point. If there's no USPSA nationals, what do you do as a USPSA shooter? If there's no area match, what do you do as a USPSA shooter? Like, what else is there? IDPA? Sounds terrible. I don't know. Myself, I don't like to see drama. I know that we've got caught up in some of that in the past in the 3-Gun show, and I don't like it personally. I just like to see all the practical shooters come together and be a better community, one that's here for the love of the game, and I just want to go shoot. I enjoy practical shooting, and sometimes it seems like there's so many externalities that it's really hard to do a good job of that. So, yeah. All right, now I want to read to you some of the comments that we got about the infamous episode 300, where I talk about new gear divisions in 3-Gun, and there were several people that went over to 3gunshow.com/300 and left a comment on the blog, and I'd like to read those to you now and just give you a little bit of thoughts on those. First one is from N. Johnson, and N. Johnson says, I like the idea you have. I agree keeping up with the times, such as RDS on TAC Ops pistols, and that would also give someone the option to shoot open down the road without having to buy another pistol. And let's be honest, anyone who buys a milled pistol and can't use the dot on it feels cheated. Yeah, totally agree. I once shot my IWI Masada in a patrol division, and I knew the rules going in and everything, but it did have that little slot milled out for the dot. Just really felt like it needed one there. So I agree. Next up says, this one's from Don Walker, and he says, I think the D60 in TAC Ops is in line with your argument of being the current tech, like the red dot on the pistol. Otherwise, I pretty much agree. Yeah, I agree there, Don. And I think it is the current tech. However, just in my mind, like drum mags just belong in open. And I feel like a 40-round box magazine or 45. I can't remember what we said. I'll have to look that up. Like box magazine in TAC Ops makes sense. And then 30-round mag limit in limited makes sense. Once you go in the drums, then it's like, well, what's the difference? There's no step up for open. But the D60 as the step up into open. That makes sense. So, we had twofold, right? One to keep with current tech, and then another one, or I guess threefold, another one to get more people to shoot the matches, and then also to differentiate between the divisions, because I think the divisions are just way too close. So there you go. Let's see. Jason Hubbard says, I have a dot on my carry pistol, as do many others. I think it would be another avenue to bring more people into the sport by not having them have to jump into open just because they have a dot on their G17/P320. Also, Grinded My Haze 2011 is no carry gun, but I would like more reps with a dot too, as this is the gun I shoot most. Yeah, I don't really understand the, I don't want to go shoot open because I'm a new shooter. Who cares? You're going to suck anyway. I hate to say that because it sounds harsh, but it's true. I sucked when I started. Didn't matter the division I was in. I lost. So when you're a newbie, I don't know why it matters. And so, you go play them in the open division. Who cares? Who cares what division you're in when you're in open? You know what? Let's have, for club matches, let's have a newbie division. And it's just all the newbies to play together. You got to be there for a whole year. How about that? Call it newbie open. Just bring whatever you want. I don't understand that argument. But so dots and tack, I guess, because then they won't have to shoot open, which I don't understand why that's such a big deal. Next one's up is Steve, and Steve says, man, some great comments here. I personally would like to be able to shoot my carry optics pistol from USPSA and TAC Ops instead of switching to an iron sight gun for a 3-gun. Also, I think you're onto something with a governing body. It's nice to have a measure of what to chase in a division. I like the USPSA model for moving up in rank. I'm a novice at 2-3 gun, but would like the ability to practice and scale up. It gives some positive feedback like a classifier stage. Thanks, man. Awesome show. Well, thank you, Steve. So I agree there. I think having USPSA carry optics pistols in TAC would be kind of cool, and it does keep up with the latest tech. A guy I shot with this weekend on my squad uses a SIG P320 with a red dot in his in the course of his work, and he is not able to use that in TAC Ops. But his work is in a tactical situation, so kind of seems a little silly that he's not able to use the same gun, or I guess the same configuration of gun, because he was shooting a P320 Legion. But anyway, I think that would be good. I think there's also like a ton of people in carry optics pistols, so it'd be nice to see all those people come over and shoot 3-gun, or at least some of them. Very small amount, because we know, it's not going to be everyone. As far as governing body, something to measure up against, yeah, I totally agree. Having like regular rankings would be kind of cool, and we can kind of do that with a bunch of math that I'm not good at. Hopefully, Practice Score is still working on something like that. It's tough with us being 3-gun, not really having any sort of sanctioning body or weighted or importance of matches and stuff like that. So, as far as the USPSA model moving up in rank, I think that's pretty cool too. However, just as with everything, we've seen a lot of lower rank shooters beat higher rank shooters, and then it has its own flaws as well. But I agree, like having some sort of like belt system, like jiu-jitsu or rank system like USPSA does make a lot of sense. I think it'd be kind of cool. Matthew Rose says, Dave, I can't tell you how much I agree with your assessment, because I've been trying to figure out if, how, when a sanctioning body can be implemented and make this a legit sport as much as any televised event. I think the gear divisions would be good, but almost obligates a pistol optic in TAC Ops, and that might be cost prohibitive to start unless you set up a production division. Don't get me wrong, I think dots would be rad, but I'm poor, LOL. Either way, great work. Hope to eventually get my butt back to matches sooner rather than later, and say hey to you. Well, thank you, Matthew Rose. So first off, sanctioning body implemented, legit sport, televised event. 3-Gun Nation tried that. I don't know if we're ever going to see this on television. Just reading the the political tea leaves out there. I don't think we're ever going to see it on TV. And to be honest, I don't watch TV, so I'm fully bought in on the internet as a broadcast platform. So I think that we could create something there. The tough part is that television has built-in audience already, just like YouTube does. And so if you do it on your own platform, you got to bring your own audience. So that's where having a sanctioning body kind of comes in, because then you have that built-in audience. But I don't know. There's other ways to do it with partnerships and stuff, but I think it might be a little tough, especially for one guy. But I don't know. There's opportunities. And then he says, I think gear divisions would be good. Almost obligates pistol on tack. Yes. Cost prohibitive to start. It's not that expensive, honestly. Like that has been a complaint as well amongst other people. But these people have never apparently played any other sport, never drag raced or anything. As soon as there's new technology, everybody has to jump on that or be left in the dust. So it's every sport. It's drag racing, it's circle track racing, it's side-by-side racing, anything where you're going for an additional edge. Most of the time people are spending money in the off season to update their gear. So to think that you can purchase one thing and just be set on that for the rest of your life, and be honest, like, do you not buy any other gear at all? You know, like I'm a nut for building AR-15s, to my detriment, right? So I spent a lot of money on that, and like not as much money on red dots on my pistol, for example. So I think if you looked at it, there are places where you could save even in the same sport and be able to afford it. And I mean, the sight plates are so cheap now, and a red dot's like $400. You're looking like $450 one expense. You know, amortize that over 5 years, it's not that much money. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I do understand, like, and I mean, if that amount of money is gonna break you, you know, definitely don't do it. But go to Limited. Limited still has iron sights and a cheaper optic. So I think there's other options. And as far as like setting up a production division, we'll talk about that again, you know, down the road here. I have some ideas for a production division. They're not completely sussed out, but again, introducing a whole new division really waters down everything. Like, for example, this last week at Gen 3, I think there were 7 iron shooters, limited shooters, right? Is that really that fun when there's 7 people in there? Or is it more fun when there's 107 people in there? So I don't think we're big enough yet to have like a ton of different divisions. So like going to like a UML match where there's 13 dudes in tack and there's 5 guys in 2x4 and there's 7 guys in 2-gun. It's like, that doesn't really seem like a competition. Like I want a big mass of people to stack up against, so to speak. And then he finishes off with either way, great work. Hopes to get his butt back to matches. Hope you do get your butt back to matches, Matthew Rose. It is a good time, and we need all the people we can get shooting. So whether it's a club match or, you know, a mini major, whatever it is, get out there, shoot some guns, enjoy yourself, have fun. Don't take things too seriously. Be nice to each other, and we'll see you on the range.